everybody, we are back with one more round, I guess if you want to put it that way, from Sully's Abode this past week. Here we actually have the championship round, or the championship match, for our triple box, because we had so many people show up last week. And this one is going to be played by Will, playing his blinged out, super shiny Red Hybrid deck, and Gabe, who played Bloomlord that night. Both players were cooking, absolutely cooking that night. It was really fun to see those two kind of just cook. I know Will he's a good Red Hybrid player, if not really like one of the best ones probably in the area.
He's a good player in general. He's very consistent.
Yeah. So should be a good matchup. Like I said in previous videos, the links to our socials will be down below in the video description. So again, our Discord, our Instagram, as well as our TCG player affiliate, along with our Twitter. I keep forgetting to mention our Twitter, but our Twitter is also linked down below with everything else. So please do feel free to check it out. We do love interacting with you guys and getting to know you all. So any engagement is welcomed. We do appreciate your guys' support. And without further ado, enough of my rambling. Let's hop right into the round.
That's right, folks. Twitter, not X. It will never be X. It'll always be Twitter. X is a bad dream.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And also, I'd like to just state for the record, I don't like interacting with... No, I'm kidding. I think everyone sucks. Anyways. So I talked to Gabe, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's not playing yellow." And he's just like, "I'm done with yellow." I'm like, "Okay." That's all he said. He's like, "I'm done with yellow for the format." I'm like, "All right."
But yeah, I mean, I think Bloom is just in a good spot. It does arguably have a little bit of a rougher matchup against Red Hybrid, so I'm curious to see how this one turns out.
Well, it's fucking terrifying, right? Because like the whole implementation of Lily Ace working with it. Like if someone tries to swing at one of your board with how that deck wideboards level 4s, it's so easy to just have a target to Lily Ace into.
But Will's got a pretty good turn. He's got an Ooyy in the back, which gives Red Hybrid so much gas, which, you know, it's scary to say that Red Hybrid gets even more gas, but it does with Ooyy. And then he does pop the Palmon with Burning Gray. Gabe's able to do some Bloom shenanigans with Sunflow, playing out a Lala to search. Does pick up the BT-14, I believe, Sunflowmon here. Goes into it for 2. Chooses to suspend to play out another Pomu, which... This is the one that doesn't allow you to play out by effects. All players can't play out Digimon by effects. Speaking of Lily Ace.
See, I told you. Which means they both just die. So that goes there. Yeah. That dies on the swing.
Shit. That's right. Huh.
Yeah.
I need to put myself a Lily Ace in my Bloom deck. What am I doing?
She's 8k DP. She ain't. So if they're trying to just swing something... Because the thing is, it works so well for Bloom... Because all of their level 4s being like 3k DP or less.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there's anything less, but them all being 3k DP for the most part, it's very, very good bait for a level 4 to swing into the stack.
For sure.
And so if someone's not thinking about Lily Ace and you have that card in hand, you just Lily Ace and they die into the swing unless they have some some decent DP boosts.
Yeah.
And then if they have something else on board, like the Ooyy you just saw, they just get bottom deck.
Yeah. But we see Gabe going to Agitar for 3, which he chooses to suspend to play out a Palmon.
Good start of main. Hard to have there just to leave it sitting.
For sure. Does decide to swing in with Pomu, which dies.
I think he was hoping it would live. Because if it lived, he could easily...
But I think he's missing a level 6 right here. He just doesn't... Oh, no, he's got a Bloom. He's got a Bloom.
He's got 2 high... I think he's got the Bloom Quartz and a Hydra. I think he's got it all. So it was just he didn't have the right sort of suspended board state to make it work the way he needed to.
We see a Metal Gray Ace to pop the Pal. Interesting. Yeah. So Gabe does promote the Pal in the back, chooses the Metal Gray Ace as its target, so if it becomes suspended during this turn, it'll gain Gabe 2 memory.
It's still the end of your opponent's turn, actually.
Oh, Correct.
So even if Will tries to swing with it next turn, it'll
lose
still
2
be.
memory, yeah.
And it's not once per turn either. So if it unsuspends, it swings again. And he draws so many cards because of the Sunflows and Cocos.
But he did. So for those wondering, he chose to suspend the PAL to play out the Pomu. So Agitar doesn't necessarily have to suspend itself. It's just suspend one of your opponents or one of your own Digimon.
Swing. Oof. Agitar fainting there is unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm curious as to why he's swaying with Agitar.
The Lily Ace would lose him turn, and he can't swing with the Pomu. So I think he was wanting to try and get another suspended target. Because if it's suspended, he goes into Bloom. He's at 1 memory, so he suspends something else.
Sure.
He'll gain 3 memory back off of that, and then 1 memory off of Agitar for something else becoming suspended. So he would have kept turn and had a full Bloom on board.
Oh my lord.
Does hit that and loses memory. These are the security checks are doing him dirty.
Yeah. Interesting. So I think they're just discussing how much memory each player would have, because I think both players lost their aces, so there's a lot of memory just like swimming back and forth amongst each other right now.
Yeah, but it's just being in neutral state because they both would have lost 3 basically.
We see a Gravity Crush to go into a Burning Gray, which will allow Will to swing over the Palmon. And I think he's just probably finding another way to get rid of. Okay, play Takuya.
A Tamer come down.
Does give up 2 memory, so it does push Gabe over to 4 to start turn. So Gabe goes into Ukamon down below. Sorry for the glitches once again this week. I'm not sure what's going on, but we do see a Sunflow. Suspends it to play out a Toga for free. Gabe will suspend the Toga to play out a Mimi for free because it reduces the cost. Yep, picks up a Cherry.
Only issue is he can't Digizorb. He doesn't have a target to Digizorb with, so he doesn't have enough memory to play a rookie to Digizorb off of. He does still have plenty of security, but the chances are his board's going to be just gone, and Red Hybrid can just run through security really fast. Does play the training for 2. I almost wonder if it would have been better to drop something for 3.
And just choke to 1. Because he doesn't have a Boko or anything. He can't do much outside of just Digivolve once.
Unless he has a Gravity Crush in hand, he can't go over that Takuya in the back. But Gabe basically giving the chance to go to 3 does give Will the chance to Evo over that Takuya in the back.
Right.
Goes Crimson for 3. Clears board. Can't play Digimon by effects now either. And that Uko is basically a dead card in the back there. It's not going to do much for him. He's hit a Bloom, so that dies. And
then he plays out a memory set of Takuya. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Doesn't have much to worry about. He can't play Digimon by effects. Raises up the Uko. Uko's effect will let him hatch another egg. Gain a memory.
Goes into another Uko in the back. Hard plays a Toga. Chooses to suspend Toga to play out a Mimi for 1, then taps that Mimi to gain a memory back. Fair. Digizorbs into a Blossom, which allows him to bring out Uko, hatching 1 and gaining 1. Nice.
Pretty nutty play, actually.
Yeah. Goes into Lala. I'm wondering here, he has a Bloom, but he wouldn't be able to keep turn with that Bloom play.
He no, he keep turn.
No, he would gain 3. Yeah, he would gain 3 because of Uko. Uko does count.
It just reads suspended Digimon. It doesn't read.
Yeah.
So also Uko's a fairy, anyways, right?
Yeah. Forgot about Uko being a fairy. So yeah, should gain 3, and then he'll restand with
ancient
Bloom.
fairies specifically. Remember, for each other Digimon with a vegetation, plant, or fairy in one of their trades you have in play. So you wouldn't gain the memory for that because they're ancient fairy, right? They're not normal fairy because it specifically says fairy.
That might be what they're talking about. I don't know. I guess not.
But no, I mean, he wouldn't gain. He only gains 1 memory for each suspended Digimon with vegetation, plant, or fairy in one of their traits. But because they're ancient fairy, they're not fairy. I don't think they count. Because Lily's specifically
it's like very similar to the Seraphi, correct? Where it's like you can't really pick up.
Yeah.
Like, because it has that extra sort of like text in
Let
there.
me read something real quick.
Yeah.
That'll answer my question.
Would you see Gabe go into a quartz by cracking the training? Will decides to kind of climb using the Takuya as a level 5, so tucks in 5 hybrid sources to go into Emperor, which does allow him to pop the quartz. Keeps turn and then just plays out another Takuya.
Okay, so I think because the wording is in one of their traits,
it still like technically is okay.
It still reads like that because the Patamon that can grab like different angels, like archangels and fallen angels.
Yeah.
You know, even though it says angels in one of their traits, even after the errata, I think it's because it says in one of their traits it works because the words in there basically.
Sure.
But because it doesn't specifically say in their traits.
Sure.
So I think, what is it that tries to grab Seraphi? Is it?
It's the Angelomon, the BT-11 Angelomon. Because it allows you to grab angels, fallen angel, or I think something like that in traits.
In its traits, yeah. Not in one of their traits. So that's the language difference. So never mind. I'm capping. Ignore me. Someone's already typed something and been like, no, it works with it. Well, I'm sorry. Okay? Sometimes I'm human and I'm stupid.
Nah,
you were right. Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
You're proud of yourself. Please leave a comment down below. Go ahead and please tell me. I really like it when you guys are proud of yourselves.
But yeah, I mean that does do it for the game. Uko and Bloom is definitely something.
It's scary, man.
Yeah.
It's just more aggression because it's just like another card that can help push out things like Mimi does.
Right.
Already.
We see Uko. We got Uko and Takuya back in Will's battle area here. Gabe plays out a Palmon to search. Does pick up a Bloom and another Pal, or Bloom and Toga. And then we'll go into Sunflow. Yeah, to play out a Toga there. Oh, okay. Starting to see a board.
Or vegetation. Whatever the fuck he counts as.
Seeing a Goonie come out.
And something I'd like to point out too. Notice that the 2 undefeated decks that are triple box tournament are both running Uko. And I feel like if there's anyone out there that is an Uko doubter in any sense of the word, dude, like I think this just goes to show that while it's not great in every deck, Ukomon is definitely just like he is gas for certain engines that just fucking supercharges them. He just makes them so much faster, so much more effective.
Well, I mean, I think we were talking about this too, like right before we hopped on to record. Like, Gabe plays out a Mimi, picks up a Hydra, but like this meta is very much either you OTK or you just go faster than the OTK. And I think Red Hybrid and Bloom are both decks that are like super consistent, and now you give them Uko and these like fast decks that are super efficient, fast, and low to the ground, like just became like super fast. Like what the hell? 3 checks like right there off the bat. Swings with Uko. And then memory setter to Kuya to pass over to 3.
And this puts Gabe on a hill to climb, which I mean Bloom could definitely climb the hill. Oh, but not like that.
No.
Not like that. Not when you have to not when you have to try and search for level 4.
Could HPD. HPD was in hand, yeah.
HPD.
You go into Sunflow for free. Taps Mew to gain a memory. He could potentially go into an Agitar for 1. Oh, just
no. He can't do anything. He can't Digisorb. There's nothing to Digisorb into a level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what he could do he would. Oh no, yeah. Agitar's not a fairy. Never mind. Yeah. Because I was thinking you could suspend the Sunflow to reduce, but the cost by 2, but that has to go into a fairy, and Agitar's not a fairy.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It had to be a fairy. I thought it could also be a
No, it has to be a fairy. At least that, like, I think it's the BT?
Yeah, fairy, one of its traits. Yeah, it's BT-14 is specifically a fairy.
Which it's helpful, like, if you want to go into, like, a Bloom, right? Like, if you have that out on board, you can suspend it to go into Bloom.
The issue is that even if he goes into Agitar for 1,
he can't play anything out. He just has to, like, evolve into it. He would only gain 2 memory, and that may not even keep him turn.
He can go into Bloom, but Bloom doesn't have anything to suspend.
Right.
So he'd gain 2 memory. He wouldn't gain 1 memory off the Agitar.
He just pass turn.
So you would be at 1. Go to you just choke Will to 1, but Will has a memory center, so it wouldn't matter. So yeah, so it was curtains.
Yeah. Game 3
there. All right, looks like Gabe's going first. We do love game 3s.
We see a Lala in the back, followed by a Palmon up top, which allows them to pick up a BT-14 Sunflow. Again with the Ukko.
You think the day will ever come where they just choose to restrict Bloomlords surely for the fact of
don't do this.
It's just too good of a green card, and so they want players to play other green decks.
I can see that. I mean, like, they've been trying to do so much to get like Rosemon on the radar, but I feel like everything they've done for Rose just ends up supporting Bloom and not Rose.
Yeah. Well, I will say I am hoping that I mean, we know the Leomon deck does pretty well.
Yeah.
We know the EX5 Leomon deck is a pretty decent green deck, even though it's kind of green, black, and yellow, but it's primarily green. Like that's the shared color amongst all of them, right? We know that Leopard gets some neat stuff with EX5 as well. Where like Leopard X Antibody does a lot of work, and people run sort of a Leopard deck in general.
Yeah.
We get more bug support between 15 and 16. We have the Terriermon deck coming in, so green is actually looking pretty decent right now. And Imperial to an extent is like it's a blue-green deck. You know, it definitely Imperial's probably like the poster child of how to combine colors.
Yeah. Oof. We see. Oh no.
What is happening?
So
I looked away for a second. I was just reading cards. What did I miss, Ben?
We had enough memory to just hard climb into an Emperor Grey to pop, and then Gabe didn't have a way of dealing with it. So he promoted the Ukko and was just able to do like Ukko things. Like he swung 2 checks with Emperor, lived. Swaying with Aguni, lived. Swaying with Ukko and ended up living, which is absolutely crazy. Gabe has to do something this turn. I feel like his best bet would maybe to like turbo as best he can into like a Hydra or even just like a Quartz, which we see in his hand over here.
He has to Quartz here.
That's his only way out, I feel like. So, and then he decides to scoop.
Gabe just scoops.
Yeah.
He's not a level 6.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have a level 6.
Oh, he needed a Bloom.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah,
I looked away for literally a second because I was just trying to double check sets to like look at some other card stuff, and that I look back and Will has a full board. Gabe's got no security, and it's just over. What the fuck?
I mean,
I think
it just goes to show like speed and consistency still wins.
Yeah.
Even in a meta where there's so much OTK and so much power, and don't get me wrong, like those decks are still fun, but I mean when you're dealing with just gas and consistency, that trumps all. And we just saw that. We saw that Ukko just spitting out hybrids. Red Hybrid as an engine in and of itself is just very consistent and very fast. And that was what, like turn 2, like Will's turn 2, turn 3. He was able to climb into an Emperor Grey, control board, and before you know it was just swarmed.
Red Hybrid can just be so disgustingly fast, especially with like some of the memory support it has now with like the Gravity Crush and everything too.
Right.
Like, it can just go fucking crazy.
Right. So congrats to Will. He did win the triple box, so had a good amount of prizing there. Well played overall in the tournament. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this set, and we'll have more to come as the week progresses on. The holidays are over, so we're kind of back to the regular like local schedule, so we'll definitely have more content ready for you guys. We definitely will be fixing the camera issue, so do apologize for this week's of sort of like glitchy cameras. Hopefully it didn't take away too much from, you know, the matches themselves, because I think we had a pretty good set of matches this week that we were able to share with you guys. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, check out our socials down below, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.